The Childhood of Jesus, The Lost Gospel of James, the 24th of August, 1843, chapter 15, Mary in the Cave. Joseph's Wonderful Experiences, Nature's Testimonial. As soon as the bed was prepared, Joseph brought Mary into the cave, and she lay on the bed and found some relief in this position. As Mary was thus lying relieved on the bed, Joseph said to his sons, "You two eldest take care of Mary, and care for her properly in case she needs it, especially you, Joel, who have gained some knowledge in this regard from my friends in Nazareth." He ordered the other three to take care of the ass and the ox, and to keep the cart in the cave, which was quite large. After Joseph had organized everything properly, he said to Mary, "Now I will go up on the hill to look for a midwife in my father's town as quickly as I can, and then I will bring her here to help you." After these words, Joseph immediately left the cave. Since it was already quite late in the evening, and one could already pick out the stars in the sky. And here we will tell about his extraordinary experiences after leaving the cave, in the same words he used to his sons upon his return to the cave with the midwife. And Mary had already given birth, and Joseph's words were, "Children, we are on the threshold of great events." Now I start to understand what the voice was telling me the night before our departure. Indeed, if the Lord was not with us, albeit invisibly, such marvels as I have seen could not possibly have happened. Listen to me. As I stepped out and went on my way, it seemed to me as if I went and yet did not move. And I saw the rising full moon and the stars both rising and setting. And see, everything stood still, and the moon did not leave the horizon, and the stars did not want to set at all. Then I saw flocks upon flocks of little birds sitting on the branches of trees. Their heads were all facing in this direction, and they were shivering as when large earthquakes are approaching, and they could not be chased away from their perches, neither by shouting nor by throwing stones. I looked around again on the ground, and, not far from me, saw a group of workmen who were sitting around a bowl filled with food. Some of them kept their hands motionless in the bowl, and were unable to take the food out of it. And those who had already lifted a morsel from the bowl kept it near their mouth, and were not able to open their mouth to eat it. And all faces were turned upwards, as if they saw great things in the sky. Then I saw sheep being driven by the shepherds, but the sheep just stood there, motionless, and the shepherd's hand, which he lifted to hit the tarrying sheep, remained frozen in the air, and he could not move it. Again I saw a whole herd of bucks who held their snouts over the water, but could not drink, for they were as if completely paralyzed. I also saw a stream which had a steep drop down the hill, and look, the water stood still and did not flow down into the valley. And everything on the ground was like this, as though it had no life and no motion. Thus, as I stood there, or walked, and did not know whether I was standing or walking, see, I finally saw life once again. For a woman came down the hill towards me, and when she reached me, she asked, "Man, where are you going so late?" And I spoke to her. "I am looking for a midwife, since over there in the cave is someone who needs to give birth." The woman replied and said, "Is she from Israel?" And I replied to her, "Yes, my lady, she and I are from Israel. David is our father." But the woman went on and asked, "Who is she who wants to give birth in the cave? Is she your wife, or a relative, or a maidservant?" And I replied to her, "Since a short time only before God and the high priest, my wife." However, she was not yet my wife when she became pregnant, but had been given from the temple by the witness of God into the care of my house, since she had earlier been raised in the Holy of Holies. But do not be surprised about her pregnancy, for that which is inside her has been conceived by the Holy Spirit of God. The woman was astonished and said to me, "Man, tell me the truth." But I said, "Come, Look and be convinced with your own eyes.